How you doing? And thanks for tuning in to the What the Hell podcast. This podcast is dedicated to those things that drive you nuts and annoy you, and just make you say, "What the hell?" Come on in. Let's get this thing started. What the hell? What the hell? What the hell? Oh man, what the hell?
Hello, beautiful people. It is June 5th, 2022, and this What the Hell podcast begins right now.
Yeah.
I am always, I fucked that up. I am, as always, joined by our wonderful host, Sean McPhee. I know I didn't introduce myself, but I'm off the rails. That's the theme of this podcast, so we're fucking rolling with it.
There we go. Throw it out there. What's happening?
And
or should I say, yeah.
Myself, I am TJ. Unfortunately, Jason had a scheduling conflict. He cannot join us today, so we're rolling duos today instead of trios.
It's like, oh God, it was that old sketch show. God, I don't remember it now, but they were doing a Star Trek spoof, right? It might have been in Living Color. They were doing a Star Trek spoof, and they were like, "Uh-oh, turbulence 2 times," and everyone went,
Oh, I totally botched that intro.
It's all good. It's all good.
I'm not a professional. What do you want from me?
I would. You might want to grab one of your books and read up.
Yeah, I probably should. So, in that vein, I'm going to try to keep this train back on the tracks. Sean, how the hell are you?
I am fan-damn-tabulous. Crazy week. As you well know, what the hellions do not, but as you know, my baby, my youngest child, who's 21, had a baby. I am a granddad again. Beautiful baby girl. Mom and daughter are doing fine. It was great to be there, breaking the hospital rules. They were still trying to enforce the two visitors, and it was like, yeah, that's not gonna fly. And actually, most of the people were really cool. There was one that was kind of like, but it's a new baby. Everybody's vaccinated. Blah blah blah.
We're not going to go down that hole.
Yeah. So, but got to spend a lot of time with them. Hang out and before they went home and everything, so it was great. So crazy week. She's about 3 weeks early, so there's that. Guess she wanted to be like her mom, because her mom was 3 weeks early too. But yeah, that was my week, most of it anyway.
Well,
yours?
Shout out to the new addition to the family,
Little Ellie. Yeah, where's my clapping? No, I almost hit slapping. Applause. There it is.
There you go.
I was looking at the buttons. I was like, clapping. No, that says slapping.
New addition to the family. I myself being in the position that I'm in. Happy for you. Granddad once again.
Yes, sir.
And my youngest niece, first time mother, outstanding. My week was, all right. I was on vacation for most of it. Caught a Tigers game.
Nice.
It was pretty good overall. But I'm a creature of habit, so honestly, I'm excited to get back into the, just back into my routine.
I was gonna say you're just getting morbid because you burn bodies for a living.
I'm getting morbid. Yeah, I'm getting morbid.
I
Kinda
can't
like
wait to get back to work and roast them.
no, it's not even that, but where I was gonna go with that is, yeah, I'm getting morbid. Like fucking Morbius fucking murdered the box office over the weekend. Did you see that shit?
No, I haven't. I still haven't watched it.
No, so it got
They brought.
pulled
I
out
know
of
they pulled it out because it was supposedly a train wreck, and for some reason, I think they said they're putting it back in at least 1,000 theaters this last weekend.
Do you want to know what the average was per theater?
4 people.
$87.
Wow. Again, I'll wait till based on what was said, or I haven't read any real stuff about it other than it's bad, it's bad. I'll wait for it to hit streaming here before because it hits in like 2 weeks or something.
Well, I just go, did you do this like ironically, or did you honestly expect this to like make money?
I I'm to me okay. So I think that I understand that Jared Leto is supposed to be some amazing actor. He just needs to say the fuck out of superhero movies, right? Because his interpretation of the Joker was horrible. Now the design, I don't know how much he had in that whole thing in the Suicide Squad, and he tried to redeem it with that 5 minute after scene in Zack Snyder's Justice League. Still, nope. Mm-mm.
Okay, Jared Leto lost me. Number one, he's a fucking cult leader. Number two, like he came out whining when they made the Joker movie, and it's like, it should have been me. Like, no, it shouldn't have. No, it shouldn't have.
And excuse me. And for the record, the Joker, the Joaquin Phoenix movie, was a good movie for what it was, but he's not the Joker.
It's a good standalone.
Yeah,
That's all it is.
it's a good standalone kind of, I guess, origin story. Like, I want to see. I'm sorry that this to me the best interpretation will always be Heath Ledger.
I'm with you.
You know, like you look at the guy and like he's crazy, but he's not crazy. He's a genius that just doesn't give a fuck. Right? Like I rewatched because it was on yesterday, I think. The Batman Begins and then Dark Knight was right after it. And I was just sitting there just kind of soaking it in, right? And I think he's got a lot of really good scenes in that movie, but one of my favorites is when he crashes in the kitchen meeting of all the mob bosses. He's like, "You want to see a magic trick?" Right? He was the first person to kill somebody with a pencil, not John Wick.
Yeah.
Right? I'm going to make this pencil disappear and just, boom, it's gone. Right? And just the way he played that role, that's to me that's the Joker. Like the Joker is fucking batshit crazy, also a fucking genius.
And so here's the thing, right? And because I completely agree with you, but I want to point this out because a lot of people do not know this or don't notice this. But in The Dark Knight, when he is in the hospital with Two-Face.
Yep.
And he's got the gun up to his head.
Yep.
If you look at his finger, it's behind the trigger to make sure Two-Face can't pull it.
Oh, I gotta rewatch that now.
Like some of the subtleties in this movie are so genius.
Yeah, and credit to Chris Nolan on a lot of that shit because he's up there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, what I want to see is because we unfortunately can't have any more Heath Ledger Joker.
Yeah.
I want to see, because whatever one's, and that's one of those ones, like Ledger was afraid of it a little bit because of the Nicholson portrayal, and the Nicholson portrayal was still great.
Absolutely.
Don't get me wrong, right? But then, when you're like, fuck, how am I gonna follow Heath Ledger, right? Without just fucking copying what he did. Um, you know, so I mean, I can imagine there's some of that, but I don't want to see. I don't want to see, like the everyone was all for the Joker movie with Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah.
Um, I personally, I didn't enjoy the movie. I didn't like it. I'm just, was it a good movie? Yeah, sure, for what it was, right? Character study, descent into madness, whatever you want to call it. I just it wasn't. It didn't do anything for me.
Okay. Well, I mean, for me, let's call it what it was. It was DC's big win.
Yeah,
And so obviously they're going to put it on a platform
yeah,
because Marvel, I mean, and we got to call a spade a spade. Marvel's been kicking the shit out of them.
yeah, no doubt.
So I think that's why it got championed so much.
Well, at that point DC needed the win, right? Like people, you know, uh, didn't like Man of Steel. They shit on Batman v Superman. So the only thing that DC had at that point was, what was this Wonder Woman movie gonna be like? And right, that's the one that didn't. Wonder Woman and the first Aquaman is where DC didn't shit the bed at all.
Yeah,
Like,
but then
those were great.
Yeah, but then they turned around with Wonder Woman 84 and
Yep. I don't know about that one. I'm cautiously optimistic about Aquaman 2. Like for number one, for them to pull off the orange and green suit the way they did.
Yeah.
Granted, I mean Momoa was going to look freaking pretty badass in just about anything, but they pulled it off, right? They didn't. They didn't make they didn't make Aquaman sucks. Oh, the reason everyone says Aquaman sucks is because of the Super Friends cartoon.
Well, yeah, because he's portrayed as a little dork. You put Jason Momoa in that role, like Aquaman's kind of badass.
Well, when you put it in perspective, and that was the one thing that Marvel has always done for years. I don't know if they still do. Marvel used to put out their own kind of encyclopedia, right?
Oh yeah, I remember those.
And it was, you could flip to whatever hero you wanted, right? And it would give you details, storylines, power levels, and
origin story, fucking lore, everything you need to know.
A complete explanation. And what they did well after, because everyone still remembers Super Friends, but well after fucking that, they redid Aquaman, and Aquaman is nearly as strong as fucking Superman. And you can't fucking stab him, and you can't fucking shoot him because his body has to be able to withstand the pressure of being completely fucking underwater.
That makes sense.
Right? So you can't shoot him. Knives will just break, right? He's got to have that much fucking strength to be able to fucking survive all that shit. So when you put it all together, and then you put someone like Momoa in it, right? Which is the only difference really there was the way they drew him when they made that change and took off the orange top, right? He still had the green pants, but he looked more like Thor, long blonde hair with a beard. And then they chopped off one of his hands and put the trident on one of his hands.
Yeah.
Turn him into like, no, he's not a pussy. He's a badass. But yeah.
Well, and then they just cast it perfectly. So
And I'll be the first person to say I have zero issues with Henry Cavill as Superman. I think he fucking kills it. I think he's good for the role. I think you had Zack Snyder movie, too heady. We talked about it before. Too in your head. Some of his story choices, snapping Zod's neck and all that shit. Oh, that's not my Superman. Okay, whatever. But he's got the stature. He's got the physicality. He doesn't even need the fucking muscle suit they put under that fucking costume because dude is jacked.
Oh, he's in ridiculous shape.
So I have zero issues whatsoever. I mean, I would say keep him as fucking Superman. Gal Gadot or Gadot, however you say it, she is fucking Wonder Woman.
Oh,
He's
great casting on that.
Momoa's
Just like
Aquaman.
Momoa. Yeah, just like Momoa. Like
Yep.
fucking.
Yeah. So, there's always going to be a court of a public opinion on Batman. Whether I went on record before on the show. I was against Affleck as Batman, and again, there's questionable story choices and all that other kind of shit in there. But as an old guy that's been Batman for 30 fucking years, disgruntled and kind of tired of it, he fucking pulled it off. And some of the things they did with the gray and black suit, number one, the costume, and the whole voice thing that we talked about before, just putting something in his fucking cowl to slightly distort his voice. I'm like, perfect. That is fucking perfect. So
see, here's my thing, and this was a sign of the times to come, especially with the way they make movies nowadays. To me, when Affleck got cast as Batman, I've said it on this show before. Obviously, I am a huge fan of the Nolan series. I felt like it was too early. I felt like it was too early to bring back that character.
It was all about money, though.
Well, I was about to say, but obviously, if it's going to bring in the dollars, of course they're going to do it.
Oh, for sure.
But just to me, I was like, I would have preferred more time to like sit on the Christian Bale Batman, because like that's always going to be my favorite Batman. And
it's pretty damn good.
Like I'll stick my flag in that. Like I know there's been a lot, but for me, those three, I love them. I love them.
Oh yeah. I'm definitely, I'm at this point, especially given the actor and the shenanigans, I think the Flash is gonna suck. And have you seen all the shit surrounding this? You can't even call him a guy. He doesn't want to be called a guy. Whatever. All the like getting arrested in Hawaii twice, and dude is off his rocker. Number one. The reason I will go watch it is for Keaton. I will go watch it because Michael Keaton's back as Batman. And I would hope they'd be able to pull off a decent story with all that. We'll see. But I have, and the fact that they keep pushing it, number one, and then this guy's an idiot. I don't really have high hopes that it'll be a great movie.
Well, I mean, honestly, at this crossroads, like, who knows if this thing will get fucking finished?
I think it's done. I just don't know, with all the legal shit that goes on. I mean, it'll get out there.
That's a PR nightmare. Like,
oh yeah,
that's guaranteed to bomb.
Yeah. And then I don't know if you knew this, but they've wrapped it. They're doing post production, but they made a Batgirl movie.
Yeah.
And Keaton's in that one too.
Mm-hmm.
As Batman, so that I want to see.
Well, I'm sure Keaton had to be sitting here going, "When's it gonna happen? When's it gonna? Oh, it's happening. Cut the check."
I think Keaton, I'm introduced to Michael Keaton in Mr. Mom. Right? It's old movie. He's a funny guy, right? So you got Mr. Mom, you got Gung Ho, where he's the Midwestern guy trying to bring the Japanese automakers in. Beetlejuice, right? Because that just seemed to, at that point in his career, that seemed to be his niche, was the everyman kind of comedy, and then Beetlejuice, he just fucking went for it, right? And so the initial uproar when he was cast as Batman was like, if you try to do it today, oh my God, right? There was no social media back then. But go and look at everything he's done since then.
Okay, so I gotta say time out for a second, because I need to ask you a few questions, because
All right.
obviously the first Batman with Keaton came out in what, 89?
Yes,
I believe
89.
it was. Yep. 89. So I was 3 years old. I don't remember anything from this, obviously. Like the public reception to fucking Keaton getting casted as Batman.
It was about the same as Affleck getting cast as Batman. Except
really?
It was uproar, except that it was, again, he was known for funny at that point in his career.
Well, no, I get that, but like, I don't know what the uproar would be, because in 89, I would look at everybody and go, none of you motherfuckers know who Batman is.
Right. Well, there at that point, you're not that far removed from the 60s series, right? So you're thinking Campy and Adam West. Hang on a second. Excuse me. And then of course you're dealing with Super Friends still at that point.
Yeah, that's true.
So again, Tim Burton being the director of that movie, it took a lot of, excuse me, good Lord, Coke Zero, gotta love the carbonation. He took that was the first quote unquote rubber superhero costume, right? And it was the first one to have Batman be entirely in black, because he wasn't going to do the blue, because at that point everyone knew was the blue and gray with the blue undies and the Tim Burton wasn't doing that.
Which I prefer the black, but that always hits a nostalgia spot for me.
Yeah. And Tim took it back to, and I gotta give him credit where credit's due, right? Because again, you got to go back to the origin story. You got to go back to the purpose. What was the point? To scare the shit out of criminals, right? And when you see this 6-foot bat that is about to beat your ass, right? You should be terrified. That was the point. That was why it was Batman. Why all that kind of shit. And we got, say what you want about Robin, but they got away from all that, right? And if you look at Super Friends, there's something about this. In Super Friends, all of the action, all of the fighting takes place off screen. Right? So like the quote unquote violence you see in Batman the Animated Series.
Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice.
Yeah. You would see Batman running in to hit somebody, but then you would hear off screen. It wouldn't show it because, censorship and whatever else. So you got to give Burton credit for taking Batman back to his roots and setting that up right from the opening fucking scene of that movie. Right from the opening scene, those two thieves that are on the roof after robbing somebody, everyone thought it was the Bruce Wayne's parents' death scene, but it was just something similar. And then there's Batman on the roof, flashes the cape, scares the shit out of him, and then I'm Batman. Right. Credit to him because that actually let everybody, including comics writers at the time, take it back to what it was supposed to be, and then even fucking jump all over it.
Well, that was an opening that, like, I'm pretty sure, obviously, like I said, I'm 3 years old at the time, but I'm pretty sure everybody fucking watched it and went, "Oh, this is how we're doing this."
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. And then Nicholson completely went for it as Joker and all that. But when I go look at stuff that Keaton's done, and again, you gotta remember, I mean, if you're my age, you know what Mr. Mom is. It's a great fucking movie. It's hilarious. It's
I
the
remember it. I remember it was Michaela's favorite movie at one point.
Oh, Mom loved it. The scene of him holding the baby up to a hand dryer to dry the baby's ass in a public restroom is iconic. It's hilarious.
And
Uh,
effective.
you know, but then you look at stuff after that and how like he's really come full circle with a lot of his later stuff. I feel bad I haven't seen it, but the whole Birdman movie where they're just like, oh my god, Michael Keaton is the guy. But even like there's a movie called American Assassin
Oh yeah.
where he trains the kid, right, as a covert team, and he's supposed to be a badass. He completely pulls it off. There's another one, The Protege, with Samuel L. Jackson and him and Maggie Q. Again, he's some kind of security guy, special forces, something or other, and is getting into full on gunfights and martial arts fights with Maggie Q.
Mm-hmm.
And you believe it the whole time. The way he's playing them. So, look at the way he played Vulture in Spider-Man. Right? It was beautiful. It's perfect. So I'm thinking you're right. I'm thinking he's sitting at home, to kind of bring this long story back. I'm thinking he's sitting at home going, damn, I wouldn't mind putting that on again. That could be kind of freaking cool.
Well, no, because all you have to do is look at Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Fucking Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and what's his name?
Tom Holland.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Like he's going, like, people lost their shit for that. I mean, I knew it was happening before it even happened.
Yeah, everyone did.
Well, I mean, I also look at nerd shit and all that.
No, everyone did. It was the shittiest kept secret in movies.
Oh, 100%. But
it didn't stop people from going, because
they did the whole deny their shit about it.
Yeah, people did the whole deny. But then when it finally happened in the movie, everyone's like, yeah. And then the way they did it, right? Like how they all came together, and then that whole fucking third act of that movie.
Yeah, like, and that, so Keaton had to be sitting over there going, like, we're gonna leave this money on the table right now.
Oh, I'm sure he's
let's do this.
Yeah, I'm sure he was all for it. I'm sure he was just like, I didn't think the call would come in because I'm old and all that, but it sure would have been nice. And then the call comes in, and he's like, yeah.
Fuck, call Val Kilmer, bring him in there too.
Right. I tell you what, everyone, because even Stephanie was asking me, the way they, what's the right way to say it? The way they took care of him and the way they brought him in for Top Gun Maverick to be Iceman again, fucking amazing.
So I was gonna go try to see that today.
Oh, you need to.
Well, and here's the thing, right? So I've heard so many good things about it that I was like, I need to go to an IMAX. Ooh, so I'm like,
I'd support that.
What o'clock matinee? I'll try to check that out. Sold out. Every other show sold out.
I told Steph, I'm like, if you want to go see it, I will go see it again. I'll go see it again anyway. but I mean, everybody knows the guy, has had a horrible time with throat cancer. Um, and the way that the way that his presence is felt, even when he's not on screen in
Mhm.
that movie, is perfect. Like it's no secret. It's already been out there. There are several times where him and Tom Cruise, Maverick and Ice are communicating via text, right? So you see the screen, right? He's texting and it says Ice.
Yeah, but that's just good writing.
Yeah. And then when they're finally together on screen, the way they do it, um, again, is perfect. It's beautiful. I won't say anything more
Yeah, like I was about to
than
say,
that.
just
But
calm it down.
but the way they handle that, I don't know how they could do it for Batman. I mean, he could probably pull off like old ass Bruce Wayne and Batman Beyond, with the technology they have now, because apparently at this point he can't even really talk anymore. It was already bad, right? They had, but I guess even that's gone now. But some software company has taken old recordings of him. It was on Yahoo the other day,
Yeah.
and basically, I guess somehow either he typed in what he wanted and then it came out in his old voice. It was something like that. Anyway,
Well, I was just gonna say, like, I know obviously throat cancer or whatever, but like, if he's still like, I mean, obviously, you know what cancer can do to somebody,
oh yeah,
but like, if he's still like physically able to
oh
and
yeah,
willing to, like, put him in the bat suit, and like you were just saying, there's enough technology to where, like, if he can just mouth the words,
oh
he'll
yeah,
be fine.
yeah, oh yeah. But yes. So yeah, I don't know. I will probably go see the Flash for that reason. I definitely want to see Batgirl. I don't think either one of those is going to come out this year. They keep, and I know, a matter of fact, I think I'm almost positive they push Flash to next year already. Um, anyway, but I'll go see those for that. But DC has, as much as they've gotten right, they've gotten more wrong, and they got no excuse. They have just as many, well, maybe not just as many, but they've got extremely popular heroes. They've got decades worth of stories, good stories that can be told. I think as good as Zack Snyder is, I think he's the wrong guy to start telling the stories.
And that's the thing, right? Because that's DC's move. And I'm not saying it's always been like this, but they release a bad movie and then they go, we're fucking doubling down on it.
Yep. Yeah.
I,
Everybody
I,
everybody was like the Batman v Superman storyline. Everybody lost their shit
nobody liked it.
when
Nobody. And
when
that's
they
not
what
even,
but
and
they
it wasn't
lost
even,
their shit when they announced it because they wanted to see it.
yeah,
It's a good story, right? Dark Knight Returns parts 1 and 2, they did far better with it in animation, and the animation wasn't even, I didn't like the character design,
mhm.
but the story, right, of the fight, the whole deal.
You botched it.
Yeah. You took something that, like, I could fix that movie easily. Number one, you take Doomsday out of it. Had no fucking business being there, right? You take Lex Luthor out of it. Had no, and again, that's the other part of that. You don't cast Jesse Eisenberg as fucking Lex Luthor. It doesn't work.
Well, that, and you just, I mean, depending on the arc you're looking to take, like Batman v Superman, That should be your number one thing.
Yeah,
Like
and it wasn't.
you don't need extra super villains. Like, oh, we got these villains, we got these villains. Like, no, this should be Batman, Superman.
Yep. You know, and for what it's worth, the fight wasn't horrible, right? It was what you expect, right? You got the armor, you got Batman using kryptonite to kind of level a playing field, but
I mean, cinematically, it looked great.
The and honestly, this is the funny part, right? Before that movie, I never fucking put the two and two together that both of their moms' names was Martha. Before that movie, I never put that together.
Holy shit, you're right.
Right? You just think about it. You thought Ma and Pa Kent, right? So a lot of people are freaking out over that's why, like, because at that point Batman had won. He was about to jam the spear into his heart. Right? And Superman at that point was ready to die, which he was just like, hey, whatever, just save Martha. Right? Because he knew at that point he knew it was Bruce, number one. He knew who Batman was, and I think he knew why Batman was doing what he was doing, right? Because Batman had explained it to him, like, dude, you're fucking alien. You can wipe out the planet if you want to. I'm a strategist. I can't have that. Anyway, before that line, I had not put that together. Jonathan and Martha Kent. Fuck, what's Batman's dad's name?
Oh, you put me on the
Thomas.
spot.
Thomas and Martha Wayne.
And that's sad that I forgot that, considering that's my own name, but I've been too distracted by this fucking light bulb you just set off in my brain.
A lot of people have oh my god, and like even Deadpool made the joke to it, right? You know, and my mom's name was Martha too. But that, to me, that works, right? That's where there are flashes of genius inside Zack Snyder's work, where it's like, okay, wait a minute, like that's cool. That's a good point. And his point that Lawrence Fishburne says in Man of Steel, where he says, can you imagine how the people on this planet would react if they knew this was real? Like,
yeah,
if someone was actually fucking flying around unassisted, how the fuck do you think we would react?
Well, everybody would shit their pants, and this dude would be in Area 51 so fast it'd make his fucking head spin.
Right? You want to know the reason we're afraid of artificial intelligence is because all of the movies has taught us that once they get their intelligence, they're going to wipe us out. But again, there are flashes of genius inside those movies. The problem is they're overshadowed by the bad decisions, such as the casting. I don't even necessarily have a problem with Lex Luthor being in the movie, but I just don't see Jesse Eisenberg as a maniacal, super fucking genius. Number one.
I mean, he was cast as Mark Zuckerberg, so.
Well.
Anyways.
Right. But thank you very much.
See, here's the thing, though. Like, aside from the casting at all, the difference between DC and Marvel, right, is like, because you would see flashes of this from DC. Yeah. Meanwhile, Marvel will bring the heat with this shit.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you'll be like watching some, like, especially Phase 1. Like, I think Phase 1 was done so fucking brilliantly.
Yep.
because
Agree.
there will be references from all of the movies, and just the way it just intersects, and it was just done perfect in my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm sure other people have different opinions, but that's what DC is lacking, is kind of that continuity and everybody getting on the same page. And here's what we're gonna do: we're gonna come out here and knock it out of the fucking park.
Again, I think they tried, right? Because there were pieces inside Batman v Superman to try and, right, okay, we're gonna here, oh, we're teasing the Justice League. Here's the five. Here's Luthor's, and that's where I get it, right? Here's Luthor's meta-human files. Here's Aquaman. Here's the Flash. Here's Cyborg. So they tried,
Yeah.
but because for what it is, I mean, Zack Snyder's made some good movies, but in this instance, he was I've said it before. He's too heady. He's too
Yeah,
theoretical. Like he's up here going.
No. Okay, I can say this right now. All you have to do is look at the Snyder cut. Everybody was clamoring for it, but it was all just fucking more slow motion video. That's essentially all it was.
Yeah.
That's heady.
Yeah, and again, oh, it's so much better. Well, no shit. You got to fucking triple your runtime. You got to put in every square inch of fucking film you shot.
It's so much better. Like, I don't want a 3-hour movie.
No, that was a 6-hour. No, 4-hour.
I know it was up there. I know it pushed forward.
It was long. And yes, some of the, and yeah, the way that the story wound up changing when they brought in Joss Whedon or whoever fucking quote unquote fixed it. It probably would have been better to leave it alone. I will say that.
By the time it came out, I just went, I don't care.
Yeah. So, there's something to be said for, and here's the funny part. I would almost be willing to bet if DC, right, whoever's running that shit, DC movies, called up Kevin Feige and said, Kevin, will you train this motherfucker for us, please?
Blank check.
Like, I bet I would be willing to bet you, without giving away like what they're planning. Like, but if it was like, if Kevin sat down with the guy and just said, look, here's how we look at things, right? Story, da 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 da, without giving away anything that Marvel's trying to do.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing.
Make this guy that's going to be in charge of this a little more like you, so that we don't do it, that we don't fuck it up. I would be willing to bet that Disney and Kevin Feige would do it.
Oh, 100%. Like, all they have to do is have someone sit them down and go, here's how this shit works. Okay.
Yeah. And everybody that's made a Marvel movie has admittedly been a fanboy, number one.
Yeah.
All the directors, right? You know why Jon Favreau is so fucking successful? Because he's making fucking shit he loves.
Yeah.
Right? And I remember watching Favreau as an actor way back in the day, like, something about this dude. Like, have you ever seen PCU? Jeremy Piven's the lead star in it. Story, he's a idiot college student causing trouble, right? Whatever. It's a really good movie. I mean, he's great in it, right? He's the fast talking, smooth talking. Like, they wind up getting George Clinton to play their big party or whatever.
Oh yeah, I've heard of this. Yeah, that rung a bell.
Watch it.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it in a while, if you can find it, watch it. It's a good movie. I think you'll get a laugh out of it.
Hold on. Was it the one where they were supposed to go to the George Clinton concert?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. There's something like that. But
Jon Favreau
was one of the guys in the frat, right? And he was kind of the doofus, big, not like ogre from Revenge of the Nerds, but like Jeremy Piven was giving him shit because he was getting ready to go see a band, not Clinton, but he was wearing that band's shirt to the concert, and Piven's like, "You're gonna wear the shirt of the band you're going to see at their concert. Don't be that guy." It was funny as hell the way they did it.
And that's sidebar. I've never understood that. But anyways, continue.
Anyway, but you go back then, you're like, huh, right? And so to see him come around, like, and you go, oh wait, where'd Favreau go? And then next thing you know, he's not acting, he's directing.
Yeah.
And what's the first thing he puts out that makes a name for himself? Elf.
Mm-hmm.
A movie that's fucking universally loved. And he didn't even get along with Will Ferrell in that movie. He's the director. Will Ferrell's the star. They did not get along. That's why there is not an Elf 2, by the way.
Well,
Because
judging from all the sequels from the movies from that time, there doesn't need to be an Elf 2.
it was in Ferrell. The story was, according to James Caan, it was in Ferrell's contract to pick the director for Elf 2, and he just didn't want to do another one after the experience he had with Favreau.
Well, that's fine, but it's not like that movie isn't lining both of those dudes with fucking
plenty of residual checks.
Not
right?
billions.
Every fucking Christmas.
Yeah, like it has to explode.
So after making that, right? So clearly that wasn't like a passion project. That was something he liked, right? Oh, well, let's take a shot and have him do Iron Man. Dude's set for life. Right? He's fucking set for life. To the point where he directed 2 of them. Right? And there's like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna play Happy Hogan now. And he pops in for a little bit here in Spider-Man, a little bit here, right? Oh, they're making more Star Wars stuff. Well, I fucking love Star Wars. Enter the Mandalorian. Enter the Book of Boba Fett. And who does he get to help him out with it? The guy that did fucking Clone Wars series, Dave Filoni, who's also a fanboy.
Well, that's just smart. I mean, you did Clone Wars. You know kind of what the deal is here. Let's fucking collab.
It just fucking works, right? It's all right there. So somebody in the DC world, right? Because I guarantee there's probably a non-compete, right? Like you couldn't, even though it probably wouldn't be a big deal, right? Marvel's probably not going to let their directors go to DC, whatever. But there should be, in my opinion, like, hey, Marvel, train some of these motherfuckers. Just give them
a sense of direction.
Creative consultant. I don't know what the fuck, but because you've got how many decades of stories you can tell about any of your fucking heroes.
So this to me, especially being such like a huge Batman fan, I am undoubtedly a huge Batman fan. And this is the most frustrating thing with DC is their failure to execute. Because all you have to do is, I don't know, it's rarity, but I saw it this weekend and I know I want it. It's called Batman 89. It's the comic.
Yeah. And it's drawn in
it's the movie.
Yeah. It's drawn in that method.
Yeah. But it looks so good, and the story, like, it just is told.
Yeah.
To me, that's the most frustrating part. Is like you have so much to work with here, but the execution of it has just been.
It's, and this last one, again, a lot of people were against Robert Pattinson as Batman. And again, I was probably one of them. I was like, yeah, I don't know. Um,
Well, I mean, when I heard it, I went Twilight, dude.
yep,
But
everybody did.
at the same time, like those three movies set him for life. So I'm not going to blame him for doing them.
Well, and then at the same time, you know, the way they said it, you know, early Batman, he's not really Batman yet. He's only been doing it a couple years, yada, yada, yada. There are, I would say there's a lot in that movie
Mm-hmm.
that they got very right. Right? They got it very right.
Okay.
The Batman Gordon, you know, growing relationship, even though the fucking police force is against Batman.
Yeah.
But you know, Gordon's there, and this is the first time, really, since The Dark Knight, where you see Batman walking around amongst the police in an active crime scene. Right? You haven't seen that since Christian Bale fucking sawed that brick out of the wall in Dark Knight. And so
unless you played the games, which you should do.
Right. A lot of you know, detective and research and all that kind of stuff. So they got a lot right with that movie. I believe it. And he to me he pulls off a young Batman, right? With the way that it's done. I believed it. I don't think he pulled off any Bruce Wayne scenes. Granted, there's not a lot of Bruce Wayne scenes.
See, but I kind of think, like, now that I've had time to digest, I think that is what he's going for, because he's not Bruce Wayne yet. He's still figuring out how to try to be Batman.
Well, yeah, I mean, and that's the argument, right? Is he's still trying to figure out everything, right? Because he's 2 years into this, which means you just got back. I just the emo look doesn't work for me. Number one, I
get that.
He's still a fucking billionaire, okay? And I understand the point.
He's still trying to figure out how to be the playboy.
But I mean, like Batman Begins, they address that really fucking quick, right? Like Michael Caine, you know, seeing that he's all bruised up, like, hey, everyone knows you're back. Everyone knows you're this rich young guy. You need to start playing the part, right? Because, and I agree with this analogy. Batman is the character, is who he is. Bruce Wayne is the part. Bruce Wayne is the act, right? He's Batman. That's who he is at his core. If in his head, he's always in Batman mode. But he's got to portray Bruce Wayne to keep people from putting the two together.
Yeah, but I just don't. Well, hold on. I think in this iteration, they haven't hit that crossroads yet.
Yeah, agreed.
I think that's what this is supposed to be. It's not like, I think it was done intentionally, but for a reason.
Yeah.
Like, I think what they have planned, whether it gets made, I don't know, but I think what they have planned is leading up to this.
It was well enough received. I mean, I think they've already announced the sequel, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
I'm almost positive they have, but I have to look. It was well enough received and well enough reviewed that they're going to get another one. They're going to get another one. And I guarantee they lot. And that's the one thing now that a lot of the actors in the Marvel films are kind of saying is like, I don't want to get locked into a 9-picture fucking deal, because then I can't do other shit. I'm Marvel's bitch forever.
Well, so and I mean, at the same time, I can't blame them, because if you're doing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, that's the only reason Downey's out. I guarantee.
Yeah, he's like, I've been there, done, got the T-shirt.
Been doing this a long time now. My star power is back up. I want to do other shit. Of course, his first two things after that he bombs on, but still.
Oh, shit the bed.
So, and I would bet Pattinson's probably got a 2, maybe 3 picture deal and all that. So, and I think that thing with Marvel will change too, because the reality is, you know, they want to lock them in so they don't have to recast the characters. But really, you recast Rhodey real quick because, you know, what's his name was a prima donna on set. Do you know that Terrence Howard? This is ridiculous to me. For Iron Man, the first one,
Oh yeah, I know where you're going.
Terrence Howard got paid more than Robert Downey Jr. did.
Mm-hmm.
The fuck is that? And from all reports, he was an asshole on set.
Yeah, that's why he didn't come back.
Yep. Dumbass.
Like, if you notice, he was out of there real fucking fast.
Yeah.
Bet his bank account is feeling that right now.
I mean, he went on to do other shit, but, you know, dumb.
Well, I'm not saying that, but like,
you know, look,
I mean, if you're in
Cheeto was
if
like,
you're in the Marvel franchise, like, come on, dude, like, you're making bank.
Well, I love that. Like, Cheeto's first line in Iron Man 2 is, "Yeah, it's me. I'm here. Get over it." Right? Because it was perfect for the setting, right? Like Tony didn't realize he was going to be there to testify, but it's also an intro like, yeah, I'm not Terrence Howard. I'm here to get paid. I don't give a shit.
Well, it was essentially like, and I'm sure this was written in once they fucking realized like Terrence Howard is just not going to be that dude.
Yeah.
They were like, all right, we have to acknowledge this. Let's get it out of the way early, and let's just be like, this is what it is. Deal with it.
Yeah. Yep. Hey, but you know, we'll see. Hopefully they figure some shit out, because I think everybody wants to see a good Superman or Batman or Justice League movie. Everyone wants it. I think it's gonna get there at some point, but it's got to happen soon, or people are just gonna get fucking burned out. People are gonna start going, okay, well, this one, another fucking, here we go.
See, and I think that's about to start happening because, like, I mean, you look at Marvel Phase 1, and I'm not going to put DC in this category because they haven't had that surgence that Marvel has had. So you've told all these stories now. So now, and I'm not saying they haven't been successful, but now we're getting into Moon Knight and all this. And I feel like eventually people are going to start losing interest because it's not Superman, it's not Batman, it's not one of those more widely known heroes. Like,
I don't know.
I
don't know.
Go either way, but it wouldn't surprise me if the superhero era kind of like hit its arc and might be coming a little back down to earth.
I think there's a real danger of that. But see, and this is where streaming services like Disney Plus are going to be the future, because you couldn't and I say this because Marvel, let me 2 points, okay? Marvel has done a pretty amazing job of taking lesser known heroes that still have a fan base, aka Guardians of the Galaxy, and turning them into good movies with good stories that everybody likes.
Absolutely.
Now, realistically, you could not make a Moon Knight movie.
No.
And have it be successful, because you're limiting yourself to somewhere between 2.5 to 3 hours to get it all done. But if we do it as a series,
yeah,
and we do a limited series, 6 episodes at an hour each, you got twice as long to tell your story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can tell a story that way.
So that to me is a perfect way to test the waters on
Mm.
a lesser known, maybe not lesser known, but less popular character like Moon Knight. Like Moon Knight's got a pretty hardcore fan base, and everyone was pretty happy to see that. But like Namor, right? Marvel's version of Aquaman, the Prince of Atlantis.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing, right? Because, like, obviously, me and you are nerds. Like, we know all these dudes.
Yep.
I'm sure there are a lot of people out there that saw the new series Moon Knight and went, I don't know who that is.
Yep.
And the reason why I think like the superhero arc might drop is because once you get into those lesser known names, it there's a lot less like, oh, Superman, I saw that growing up. Batman, I saw
Yeah.
that growing up. Iron Man, Captain
Yeah.
America, yada yada yada. So
And there hasn't been that many, to my knowledge, new heroes created that have had that lasting impact. I mean, there's a few, like Blue Beetle was not a thing when I was a kid,
yeah,
right? And that's huge now, and they're shooting the live action movie right now with the kid from Cobra Kai.
yeah.
So I'm sure that's going to be something, pretty. Hopefully, it's pretty good. I'm definitely interested to see Black Adam because they're introducing, like, Hawkman's a badass fucking character. Haven't seen shit.
Hold on. Sidebar though, you said Black Adam, right? So it's The Rock and Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they were doing an interview about Jumanji, and they brought that up. And someone asked The Rock, they go, all right, so you're Black Adam. Give Kevin Hart a superhero name. He goes, I'm Black Adam. He's Honky Pete.
I saw that one. I saw that.
So good.
Yeah. I swear The Rock can do no fucking wrong.
Oh, he's a national treasure.
Dude. And again, one of the nicest guys on the planet. When you see when you see all the shit that all his charity work, and gave away his custom truck to a veteran that was a fan.
I was just about to bring that up. Like, I saw that video. I was like, this dude.
Yeah.
He's standing in the fucking, I mean, I don't really believe this, but he's standing in the parking lot going, I got to figure out how to get home.
No,
like, I'm sure there was
video.
A car. Yeah. Like,
it made for a good video. He knew what he was going to do. Right.
Yeah.
But it makes for a good video. Like, yeah, I'm going to get home. And he's laughing because he's like, well, I'm surrounded by cameras and microphones, and I'm sure all I got to do is make a call. Right. But.
Oh, I'm sure this was all set up. Like, there was a car waiting for him.
Yeah. So. But again, there's a ton of stuff out there DC can do. Like, Black Adam. I hope it's fucking amazing. Number one. Right. The Rock's wanted to do it for years. He's pushed for it. It's been this whole thing. And and again, they're introducing some of these other characters. Like Hawkman's a badass character that deserves his own movie. Dr. Fate.
Here's why I have hope for Black Adam. It was the same reason I had hope for fucking Deadpool, because Ryan Reynolds really wanted to play that role.
Yep.
Same as The Rock wants to play fucking Black Adam.
Yeah.
And I mean,
and that means, it means something to them. They know their shit, right? They know the story, they know the character, they know the motivations.
I don't know about you. I'd call Deadpool a fucking success.
Oh, for sure. For sure. And it got made because of Ryan Reynolds, right? Like, everyone knows he leaked that fucking test footage.
Oh, I was about to bring that up. I was like, I still remember the test footage.
Somebody leaked the test footage.
Like, and that was years and years and
Yeah.
years before it, and I was
Well,
so fired up.
because nobody at that point, no one really wanted to do, excuse me, an R-rated superhero movie that cursed and dismembered and broke the fourth wall and all this. But you're going, you guys don't understand what you have here.
Oh,
in this
but
property,
here's the thing, right? Because then they put out a game on Xbox 360,
which was great,
which I
by the
play.
way.
Yeah. Oh, phenomenal. If you haven't played it, play it. But that's when my real introduction to him came into play. And I was like, oh, I love this dude.
Yeah. The problem was most people's introduction to him was when Ryan Reynolds played him in X-Men Origins Wolverine, which was
Oh
shit.
no. That's not Deadpool.
No, it's yeah, and I love that Ryan Reynolds is not afraid to shit on his own stuff.
Oh,
You know,
that's
so
the greatest.
when he's doing the time traveling at the end credits of Deadpool 2, right? They show X-Men Origins Wolverine, and then he fucking blows his own head off. And then
Yeah.
he shows Ryan Reynolds reading the script of Green Lantern going, "Welcome to the big time." Pff, you're welcome, Canada. And that's an okay, so there that's another segue, right? Green Lantern. That's another hero that deserves a fucking reboot. Hard.
Fantastic
Right?
Four.
That's gonna happen.
Well, I heard that there was rumblings. I haven't
Well,
really looked into it, but
it again, not giving away. There's Doctor Strange in Multiverse of Madness. There's Fantastic Four references, without getting any spoilers.
okay.
I think based on that, based on the reaction to all that, it'll probably happen at some point. So, and that's another reason that I don't think we're at the crest of the superhero movie mountain yet. I don't think we're turning that corner, to your point, because you've got recasting and rebooting that still needs to happen for a lot of characters.
Yeah, you're right. Now that I think about it, now that we've brought this point up, like you're right. There's a lot of bad movies from the early 2000s that need to probably get another shot.
Yeah.
Fantastic Four, Green Lantern. Yeah.
X-Men.
Yeah. Oh, well, I mean,
and those were good, right? Most of those were good.
I liked them. Like,
Yeah.
I know everybody shits on them. I liked them. But at this point, like, I don't even know if I trust anybody with the X-Men franchise.
I trust Feige. Feige will figure it out because here's why this will go on for years is the nostalgia factor. We will run to those movies cautiously optimistic, right? I'm cautiously optimistic about anyone that has to take over Wolverine from Hugh Jackman, right? And number one, we all want to see an MCU interpretation of the fucking Wolverine costume, which we never got. We got the crazy hair, which was great. So I'm cautiously optimistic about it.
And this is coming from obviously a Michigan fan. I don't even want the yellow and the blue. I want like the brown and the orange.
They're gonna go yellow, blue, and black first. I almost guarantee it.
Oh, 100%.
Because that was before the brown. I'm just saying. Orange. Yeah,
that's always been my favorite.
Oh yeah, I think. Well, and it makes a hell of a lot more sense, right? But because the original, were basically yellow and blue, right?
Fitting.
But we'll run to that. Rylan, like my kids will run to it, and then it gets passed down. Like, this is cool. You guys want to check this out, and if they do a good enough job and don't shit the bed, which is why DC has got to get their shit together really fucking quick. We haven't hit the peak yet. It's getting there. I think it's going to get there in the next. If you think about it realistically, if they release a movie every couple of years, in the next 10 years, we're going to hit the peak.
It's just going to depend on how many people shit the bed. That's what it's going to come down to. If you can keep knocking it out of the park, like, then I'm completely fucking wrong here. But the way I see things, I'm like, all right, you guys are Like, I know who you're talking about, but I don't know if everybody else does.
Well, that's the part of it where maybe instead of doing a movie, you do a series, right? I have to imagine, even though you're doing
WandaVision.
three times the length, I'd imagine it shouldn't be as expensive as doing a movie, maybe. But let's look at, I mean, one of my favorite characters with one shitty movie and one what I thought was a really great movie that should be rebooted is Judge Dredd.
So, which was the shit and which was the good one?
The shit movie was the Stallone movie in the
Okay.
90s or whatever. I like the production design. That was kind of cool looking.
Well, the concept itself is fucking great.
But the lower budget Carl Urban movie Dredd was fucking killer. It was perfect. And again, Carl Urban needs more, right? He's killing it in The Boys, which season 3 just launched, by the way, if you haven't watched any yet. First 3 episodes are out now.
Hashtag not a sponsor.
No, wish they were.
Sounded like a fucking ad read.
I forgot that it came out. I watched all 3 episodes Friday night.
Oh no, plug the shit you love, dude.
That's have you watched that shit?
No.
Dude. Fucking just trust me.
That's all I need. All I needed was the
go back to season 1. You will die.
I'm gonna start at season 3.
It's so over the top. You will die. You're gonna be like, holy fuck.
Anyway, I've heard good things about it.
I like Carl Urban as an actor. I mean, all the shit that he's done when he, the Chronicles of Riddick, when he was the guy in that, his portrayal of Bones in Star Trek, but Judge Dredd, he was Lord of the Rings, all that kind of shit. And and people were actually trying to fan cast him as the next Wolverine, which physically he's about the same size as Jackman, but from the appearance part, I get it. But he was like, yeah, I'm like 3 years younger than Jackman. So unless you want to see a 60-something-year-old Wolverine, probably not a good idea. But he's like, I love it. I love it. I don't think it's great for the character.
Well, he's like, I'd do it if I was younger, but the timing's off. Like, and honestly, like, and nothing against Jackman, I would love to see just like a little bigger Wolverine, because like I grew up reading the comics, playing the games. Like, Wolverine was always fucking.
He's supposed to be a little, 5'5", 5'6", just
brick shithouse.
Yeah,
brick shithouse.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, Jackman got pretty fucking big for most of those.
And that, like I said, that was not a shot against Jackman, but like it's just like his frame. Like if his frame was just a little bigger,
oh yeah,
like he could have put on the weight, it would have been perfect.
Like his physique for the one that was set in Japan, the Wolverine, right, where like the poster is him shirtless with a fucking sword. Dude is ripped. He's ripped. He's bigger than I'll ever be, but he's also not, like fucking,
He's like 1.9% body fat.
Probably 0.9.
Yeah, like just.
Yeah. Like
that's what I'm saying.
He's not Hemsworth ripped.
Like, and that's nothing against
no
Jackman. No, I love Jackman. I was sad when Jackman came out and said, like, I'm not doing it anymore, which I understand, but at the same time, it's like, no.
Yeah.
Same as like Bale not being Batman anymore. I understand. No.
Yeah. Oh, same. Chris Evans not being Captain America anymore.
Yeah.
Perfect.
No.
How great was his cameo in Free Guy though?
Oh yeah.
I laughed my ass off, right? Because you got Cap busting everybody's balls for saying ass or whatever in Age of Ultron. Mm-hmm. And then Ryan Reynolds busts out the shield and there's Chris Evans looking at his phone. What the shit?
It was perfect.
It was awesome.
That's great writing. That's what
Yeah.
that is.
Absolutely. Oh God. So yeah, I think the peak is inevitable, right? It's just
It's
absolutely
gotta be
inevitable.
coming. It's gotta be coming.
But again, the level of stories, the level of uh, tellable stories for every character is ridiculous. So if they do it right, like I've been since I saw Spider-Man, was it No Way Home or whatever this last one was. Um, and spoiler alert, the Charlie Cox is in it as Matt Murdock. So I've gone back and been rewatching the former Netflix, now on Disney Plus, Daredevil series, and I forgot just how fucking good it is. I'm watching season 2 right now, which is a season that has John Bernthal as the Punisher in it. Vincent D'Onofrio as Wilson Fisk, and I'm going, Jesus, this fucking so good.
Love D'Onofrio. No matter what he does, I love D'Onofrio.
I'm like, this is so fucking good, right? And so, and they've announced they want to do. I don't know if they're going to do a movie or another series, but Charlie Cox is going to be in it. I'm like, yes, just don't tone it down. But there's so much out there, and Daredevil wasn't even that popular of a character, and they made the C plus Ben Affleck movie out of it, but made 3 killer seasons of a Netflix show. So there's plenty out there. The peak is inevitable. I just don't know how far we are from it, and I think how long it takes to get there really does hinge completely on the quality of the movies that are put out.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's all what it depends on. But I mean, at the same time, I don't have a lot of faith in DC. I just don't.
Well, you at this point, they've given most people no reason to have faith.
Like, I mean, if you want to pinpoint it, it was Justice League. That broke my heart. It broke my heart.
Like Man of Steel, I think, was a decent movie. I really don't have a lot of bitches about it.
I don't have a lot of bitches about it either. But to me, Superman's a shitty superhero. I said it.
Why do you say that?
Because he's impenetrable. Like, he's just.
Now, like, see, no.
There's one thing.
No, see, this was. Oh God, what? One of the animated shows that came out. That's where DC's actually got it right. Is their animated movies? They've got it right. So, like, it doesn't make sense. So
hold on. Are you about to go on a rant?
A little bit of one, but
okay. No, I just want to know because I need to step off camera for a second. I'll be right back. Just continue. Right. I'm still here. I still hear you.
Gotcha. All right, let me take a sip here. So, I think at some point somebody realized what you're saying, like, oh yeah, Superman's, he's too tough, right? He's impenetrable, blah blah blah. The only thing that hurts him is kryptonite. And somewhere along the line, they tweaked it to where he's not as strong against magical characters. So since they brought in magic, right, the Constantines of the world, the Zatannas, and even that idiot fucking character of Superman's Mxyzptlk, right? They've made him more vulnerable, I guess would be the right way to say it, to magic related characters. So it's not just the one thing anymore. So I don't know that having that as a reason that Superman be a bad superhero, I wouldn't go that far. Let's put it that way.
Okay, I'm not saying he's bad. I'm just saying he's overpowered. Like, I can't walk up to Superman in the street and kick him in the nuts and he's going to drop. Right. I can walk up to Batman and kick him in the nuts. He's going to drop.
No, he's going to have a cup in that suit. You know he is.
Well, no, I'm not talking about suit. I'm talking
Yeah.
about the other Clark Kent, Bruce
Yeah.
Wayne.
Yeah.
Like Clark Kent's just gonna be like bang. Bruce Wayne's gonna be like. Maybe that's why, like, I'm such a big Batman fan. Like, maybe I just can relate more. Like, I wish I was like Superman. Don't get me wrong, but
Okay. Wow.
what?
That's just sad. Oh, Steph had texted me, "Hey, almost done," and I went to type almost, and autocorrect. I guess I did too fast. Sent Lamaist. Lamaist.
You're almost done. You're lame.
Oh God. So I don't know. We'll see. I think if I'm even more interested now in, like, okay, so I'd say Moon Knight was probably a pretty successful series.
I
How
would think so.
how do you move that into a Marvel feature? Right? Whether
Or
whether
no.
it be a standalone or adding him in, right? Because now we're in phase fucking 4 or whatever, and you got to have a new Avengers team, and he was part of the Avengers team, blah blah blah, all that shit.
Or is it just going to be a WandaVision where they fucking drop it?
I don't know. I hope they don't. I hope they do at least another fucking series on it. Because that's, fucking. I always thought Moon Knight was badass. There's so much more. Moon Knight was kind of Marvel's. If you take the multiple personality disorder out of it, Moon Knight was kind of Marvel's Batman.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. I can see that.
Spectre, Mark Spector was a billionaire, mercenary. He had all the toys and tools. He had the
Yeah, I can
fucking
see that.
moon ship that he fucking flew around in. So there were some direct correlations there. Now
Yeah, I can see
they
that.
they amped it up with the the multiple personality disorder, but it was definitely. And again, he was violent. He was vicious. You know what the fuck he was gonna do.
He's got to stand out, and those are always my favorite heroes.
Oh yeah. So we shall see. But it's, DC's got to get their shit together and take their fucking, either have someone sit down and study this or get with Kevin Feige or whatever. But just, again, there's stories out there, and you don't have to fucking go for the most dramatic and craziest fucking stories. Like, the next Superman movie doesn't need to be the death of Superman. Like clearly we got that in Batman versus Superman already, but you don't need to do that. You don't need to do fuck. I can't remember any other real big ones that are out there, but you don't need to take the most important fucking story and put it out there, especially if you're going to do a shitty job of it.
So I just looked up something out of curiosity. Hold on. Let me do some quick math here. So I don't know if you have this random trivia off the top of your head, but I'm going to ask you anyway.
All right.
When did the first Iron Man come out?
Oh God.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I had to Google it.
Hang on.
Take a swing. That's all I want.
Iron Man would have been 09.
Oh wait.
Damn, I was close.
Yeah, you were. Like, great guess. But gosh, great guess. Good guess. It's been 14 years.
Yep.
And that's the frustrating thing with me is, like, DC, you fucking seen how to do this.
Yeah. You got a point.
What the fuck are you doing? I love you. Do it.
Yeah. Make it fucking happen, Captain. And there's someone in there that knows what they're doing. Right? Because you've had success with some of your characters. Like you've got, what was it, 8 seasons of Arrow, which was
Yeah.
great. You're at what, 9 or 10 seasons of The Flash,
Yeah.
which has been great.
Uh-huh.
You had some other, lesser known stuff in there. You tried Black Lightning, which I thought was great. Tell you the truth, it didn't. For some reason, they didn't like it. Legends of Tomorrow, which was again random, but that went for a while. Someone in there knows how to do it.
I'm not disputing that, but they need more pull.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
And maybe it's maybe it's because it's a series and you're getting more time to tell the stories, and you don't have to. Everything doesn't have to be wound up with a bow in one fucking episode, right? It leads in and all that kind of shit.
Well, especially nowadays, like you can leave with a cliffhanger. Most people are binging seasons. Like my best friend will not watch a season until it's over so he can binge the whole fucking thing.
Right.
So like a cliffhanger is okay. Nobody's going to be mad. And the people that are mad, they'll get over it when the fucking show airs next week.
Yeah, the fact of the matter is that every season ends on some kind of cliffhanger. They're not necessarily wrapped up in a bow at that point, because that's how they get you for the next season. And it's just it's a bigger scale cliffhanger than one in between episodes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I couldn't tell you how many fucking season finales I've watched, and they left on a cliffhanger, and I went, "You got to be fucking kidding me! I gotta wait now."
Yep. So. But yes, I guess we'll call this one, what the hell's up with DC?
Well, I was going to say, this is kind of like a more mellow what the hell with Jason out, and we just kind of, movied it up.
Yeah, I had nothing wrong with that. Oh, on that note, though, I need to feed everybody, so I'm going to have to call it.
All right.
It is almost 7 here, so.
Yeah, it's about time I start winding down.
There you go. That was a good one. I like it. I enjoyed it.
Me too.
So let's see here. What's we'll do the usual. Please rate, like, subscribe. Tell your friends. We definitely need to get the downloads back up there. Seems to be tapering off a little bit. And hey, if that's because you think the quality's gone down, email us and let us know. What do you want to hear? What do you want to see? What the hell podcast at yahoo.com.
And I promise we'll get back to bitching and swearing next week.
That's right. We will. Well, you're leading this one, so I will tell everybody we'll catch them on the flip side. But what do you got for them?
As always, folks, be good to each other, people.